So that sound that you're hearing in the air is a whole bunch of bees. You can kind of see them against the sky. Today is June, like
30th?
June 30th?
I think so.
Like June 30th already. So it's kind of late. We don't really want them to be swarming this time of year because it gives them less time to get everything ready before winter. But as you can see, the air is just thick with them. There's a lot of bees. So we're gonna probably go and get a box and the tractor and some stuff and get ready to catch these guys. But man, that's a lot of bees. So basically when a hive decides to split, it thinks there's too many bees for so much space, and so they're like, let's get out of here, let's half of us leave. So they chase the queen around for like 2 weeks leading up to it because the queen isn't able to fly because she's so big. She's always gorged and laying eggs and stuff, so she's not able to fly. So they feed her they don't feed her as much, and they chase her around the hive for a couple weeks until she's able to fly, and then they basically push her out of the hive, and she flies usually not very far. So they always end up at this tree right here because their hives are right over there on the edge of the house. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hives on the edge of the house. So the queen takes off and always ends up right here. So let's see. As soon as she lands, all these bees, they can tell where she is because she's putting off pheromones. But as soon as she lands, all the bees will land wherever she landed. As of right now, I can't really tell. Before the bees all leave the hive, they gorge themselves on honey. So they can still sting, but they generally do not sting. They generally have so much honey in them that they can't sting so easily. So I feel fairly comfortable coming up to the tree like this, but I still wouldn't want to accidentally squish one. That's a lot of bees. So I can't really tell where their main landing point is. There's a few beginning to land kind of sporadically, which is a little bit odd. It almost seems like the queen didn't land in the tree. Doesn't it seem like they're moving, Anna? It seems like they're moving. So we didn't see them. I didn't see them coming out of the hive. Anna, did you see which hive they came out of?
I didn't look. I just saw that there was too much bees and they were like...
Were they right in front of the house, or?
Yeah, it was one of these hives.
Alright, so one of these hives did swarm. Because after they all group up, they send out scout bees, and those scout bees go and try to find suitable spots to build a new hive. And they all go out and take measurements, basically. It's pretty amazing. And then they come back to where all the rest of the bees are, and they do a waggle dance, and they tell all about the new spot, like, hey, let's go over into the abandoned grain bin. There's this one spot up in the left corner, and it's got about this much room, and I think it's a good spot. And then the bees are like, oh, that sounds nice, and then they keep trying to decide where they're going to go, and they will unanimously decide to go to one spot, which is something humans aren't very good at. But pretty good communication and decision-making skills on their part. The way they're designed is amazing. So they'll unanimously decide, hey, let's go to this spot, and they'll take off toward there. Oh, the queen may have landed. Notice right up here there's a tight cluster of bees on that branch.
Right on that branch too.
See another spot? Oh, yeah, they're also... Let's zoom in on there, see if you guys can get a look at this.
You know what sometimes happens is the queen lands on one spot, so they think that she's still there, and then they...
Yep, so I think they're congregating there. But right over here, it's hard to see against the sky, but there's also a cluster of bees right there. There, now you can see them. Cluster of bees there. So the queen may have landed there just briefly, and then she took off over to that spot. but I would say they're mainly landing there. So we're gonna go gather some stuff together and then get ready to catch these, because you're able to catch the swarms if you see them, which we did today, but nice. So anyway, we're gonna go gather up some stuff and we will check on it in a little while here. Okay, so a few minutes have gone by, and as you can see right up here, there's a pretty big cloud or cluster of bees. See if I can zoom in on it. But you can see most of the bees that were in the air are now landing. I'd say probably 2/3. So we just gotta wait for all the rest of them to land. And in the meantime, we're gathering some stuff. Got a pallet, just need to grab a couple other things and should be ready to catch them. Okay, so I pretty much got all the stuff that we need. We basically need a lid for the top. I've got a queen excluder. The queen is too fat to fit through these bars. And then an inner cover and 2 hive bodies. The base right here, and then the stand that it sits on. These two, I don't leave all the frames in. I take out all the frames in the top one except for the one on the ends, because then they just know that it's a beehive. Perfect, that'll do fine. So when you're first catching them, you want to like really reduce the amount that they can get out, because we're gonna shake the bees into here, and we'll just have this entrance reducer pretty much keeping them all in there, because we want them to stay in there for the whole evening and the night, just so that they think it's home by morning, you know what I mean. So we're gonna head over there and see what happens. Alright, so we're approaching the swarm here. I think I'm actually going to move it down a little bit, even it out, and try to go underneath it a little more, but it's sort of difficult. So, there we go. I couldn't have done better myself. Wait, I did do this. Anyway, Erina's bringing the ladder, as you can see, and so I'm going to shut this thing off and we'll climb up there and get it. Yep, so now the remaining bees that are kind of just around are either late comers or they're going and looking for the new home now. Thank you, Erina.
Yep.
It's very appreciated. So we're gonna head up there and get with it. Alright, so we have the box here positioned right underneath the bees, and I took a ratchet strap and I put it underneath the entire box, because since the bees haven't been living in this box, there's no propolis holding everything together. So if you put a ratchet strap on there after you shake the bees in and put the top on, you can ratchet strap it so that the bees aren't like going all over the place, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and shake them in now. I don't have a tree trimmers with me, but if you did have a tree trimmer, you could clip some of the excess branches off so that the bees fall more directly into the box. So I'm just going to get my lid and stuff ready. I'm going to get a little more active. And they're generally not aggressive during the swarm, but I must confess I'm still a bit skittish. So out, just about ready. I'm going to go ahead and give these guys a shake now. I'm just going to kind of bend the whole branch down, get it close, and give them a good shake. Set my lid over the top, and get the cover almost the way like that. And Dad usually closes them up, right, Erna?
Mm-hmm.
All the way? Yeah. So, hopefully now, I think most of the bees went in. I'm going to make sure the entrance excluder's on the front. And that it is. Looks like they have a hole they can get through right here. So they're probably going to be doing that, but that should be all right. I think I'm going to go ahead and get this ratchet strap on it a little bit in case I want to lower the tractor. Okay, and that swarm should be pretty much caught now at this point. I didn't get stung or anything, so I'm pretty happy. And probably 85% of the bees that were there are now in the box. Some of them are certainly still scouting. And there's still quite a few in the air, but that main cluster went in the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're happy. Anyway, hope that you found this interesting. I guess it's just a classic hive catching example. So we're going to let the bees settle down, and then later on we'll move that hive up against the house with the others. So, talk to you later. Goodbye.